love them, even though Roberts owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy. We got a few safety rules to go over. First, rule number 1, if you need guest assistance or have a medical emergency, or if you drop something of value off the side of the tram, or have any sound or video issues, reach up and grab the red E-cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please stay seated and keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. That's rule 2. Remember to use the red cord above your head if you need any assistance. The studio is private property, and if at any time during the tour you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the cord and remain seated. Please, no smoking of any kind during the tour. That's rule number 3. Rule number 4, be prepared. Our tour today features loud noises, fire effects, sudden tram movements, and any water effects. You'll want to have your cameras out for great photo opportunities, but keep an eye on them so they don't get wet. Finally, for your safety and for the safety of those around you, again, please do not use selfie sticks while you are on board. We're now heading down our movie poster timeline, which covers our history from the silent era all the way up into the 21st century, and the timeline is taking us onto our front lot, the heart of the studio, which is home to most of our 28 sound stages. Inside these buildings, we can create any environment that the story demands or that the script calls for. If the show even has a script or story. We also do non-scripted and reality shows here, like the front lot is home to Stage 1, where Kelly Clarkson tapes her daytime talk show, The Kelly Clarkson Show. Kelly is also, again, a coach for season 21 of The Voice, along with Blake Shelton, John Legend, and now Ariana Grande. For quite a few years, The Voice was taping in Stage 12 ahead of us here. Stage 12, it's the largest one on the Universal lot. It's undergoing some upgrades here, so we've relocated the Voice folks to elsewhere on the lot. It was inside that stage that all the following sequences were shot. Stage 12 was big enough to hold sets such as the Visitor Center for Jurassic Park, downtown Hewville for the live-action How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and the Eden East Resort for couples retreats. You're going to notice some construction coming up on the right. We are excited about the opening of Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Japan, and are thrilled that the land is coming to Universal Studios Hollywood. We look forward to sharing more information about Super Nintendo World's development and our theme park in the future.
Not done yet.
Some of the stages ahead of us were recently used for Superstore with America Ferrera, Ben Feldman, and Lauren Ash.
I know it's hot in here, but let's have some patience for one another.
You know, the heat makes us all act.
Your face stays where it is.
I know, right?
And sometimes for
what
Halloween
we
Game
have so
Night,
far.
hosted by 5-time Emmy winner Jane Lynch.
Whose name is worth more in Scrabble tiles? Uzo Aduba or David Oyelowo? Uzo Aduba.
And coming up on the left are stages 17 and 16, which are currently being used for season 2 of the reboot of the Saved by the Bell series. In fact, there's this Palisades Public School District. So was it Bayside High School? They're part of the Palisades Public School District. So that bus there is what's known as a picture car. It actually appears in episodes of Saved by the Bell. And Saved by the Bell has also been filming in stage 21 here to the left, a stage which has also been home to epic movie sets like Mission Control for Apollo 13. Here's director Ron Hubbard.
Realism was an essential element for Apollo 13. After all, we were recreating an important moment in American history, a moment many Americans witnessed on television. We thought about filming in Houston, Texas, where the original control room for the Apollo mission still exists. Unfortunately, NASA's engineers didn't have filmmaking in mind when they built Mission Control. Since there was no room for the elaborate camera cranes and tracks we needed for the shots, we had to build our own mission control. Everything had to be exact, even down to the tiniest details.
Getting back to television, I've been mentioning a lot of popular Universal and NBC Universal television shows that film here and have filmed here for decades. In fact, they continue to film. Coming up on the right are some stages currently used for Good Girls with Christina Hendricks, Greta, and Mae Whitman. Some of them were recently used for The Good Place with Ted Danson and Kristen Bell. Ted Danson has been back on the lot recently working on his current series, Mr. Mayor, which airs Thursdays on NBC. And oh, look at this. Assemble the minions. Illumination Entertainment next exits. Illumination Entertainment is one of our sources of animated content. They unleashed the minions onto an unsuspecting world in 2010's Despicable Me. The minions are going to get back to theaters next summer on the screen in the origin story, Minions: The Rise of Gru, opening 4th of July 2022. At one time, the Illumination folks had an office inside one of these bungalows coming up on the left. I know some of you were looking that way anyway because you get a talking teddy bear there. The Ted movies with Mark Wahlberg and
Ted.
Seth
That's Ted.
as Ted were productions of Universal and Bluegrass Films, who at one time had their offices inside one of these other first bungalows over here to the left. And inside these other bungalows are the offices of yet more production companies, like Elizabeth Banks. Her production company is Brownstone Productions. They got an office here. May the odds be ever in their favor. Coming soon from Brownstone and Elizabeth Banks, the adult animated series Bedrock, which, as you probably figured, is spun off from the classic animated Flintstone series. Also, Mark Platt, the producer of the Broadway hits Wicked, Dear Evan Hansen, and the upcoming Dear Evan Hansen movie musical. He's got an office here. Then there's Bungalow 5195. It's currently home to the De Laurentiis company who brought us the NBC series Hannibal. They'll soon bring us a new adaptation of Stephen King's Firestarter, featuring Zac Efron and Michael Grey Eyes. You'll notice a familiar profile to the right of the front door of the bungalow. It was once the working space of the master of suspense, Alfred Hitchcock, who was famous for making cameo appearances in nearly every one of his films. See if you can spot Hitch in the following clips.
Good evening. My name is Alfred Hitchcock. We all know living rats and never seen them fly.
And now on the left is this three-story structure. These are more production offices connected to stages 22 and 23, which are currently being used for the series Kenan with Kenan Thompson. We're now leaving the front lot. We're going to head on to the back lot, where the world is just around the corner. Coming up on the left are Metropolitan sets and New York Street. Note that these are, for the most part, what are called facades, not much more than false fronts and sides of buildings. We found that for filming purposes, that's very often all we need to build, only what the camera can see, and we let your imagination fill in the rest. You can see these sets in episodes of American Ninja Warrior. We'll sometimes place obstacle courses right in the middle of our New York Street for various rounds in that reality series, American Ninja Warrior, which airs Mondays on NBC. And these Metro sets also appear in another series streaming on Peacock called Rutherford Falls, featuring Ed Helms, Janice Meading, Dustin Milligan, Firestarter's Michael Grey Eyes, Jesse Lee, and Dana L. Wilson. These sets are very versatile. They can double for just about any metropolitan city in the world in nearly any time period, past, present, or future, like the sets for Old Chicago for The Sting, also 1962 Baltimore for the 2016 presentation of Hairspray Live. Hairspray Live also utilized stages 22 and 23. In fact, and these are some of the newer stages on the Universal lot. They were first used for Hairspray Live back in December 2016. Hairspray Live with newcomer Maddie Balio as Tracy Turnblad.
Good morning, Baltimore. Every day's like an opener.
And Harvey Fierstein as Edna Turnblad, Tracy's mother. Martin Short as Wilbur Turnblad, Edna's husband, Tracy's father. And, okay, everyone, you know something? New York City is where the big ape King Kong met his untimely end. Here now is the director of our 2005 retelling of the classic King Kong story. Here he is, Academy Award winner Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up an adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
This will be like a way to continue the King Kong story right here at Universal Studios.
The Universal tram is winding its way through a very rough, narrow trail in Skull Island, allowing the visitors a little sneak peek at some of the wildlife at Skull Island. In a sense, this is like a mini sequel, a mini continuation. We're just taking the Kong and Skull Island and the dinosaurs that we established in our feature film, and this is another day, another incident on Skull Island, using the creatures and the character and personality of Kong as he appeared in the movie.
What about Kong's personality?
We really put a lot of thought into the character and personality of Kong, and he's so much more than a monster. In fact, he's not a monster. He is an incredibly majestic, ancient creature. He's a force of nature. He's old, he's wise, he's proud, he's fierce, and obviously he has a heart. The most important feature with Kong are his eyes. Kong's eyes are wonderfully expressive. They're full of emotion. His eyes are like a window into his personality and his heart.
Ladies and gentlemen, adventure awaits us. Please hold on to your personal belongings. Remain seated at all times. Keep your arms and legs inside. And now, welcome to Skull Island.
Glasses on, everybody. We're back in Skull Island.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh! Whoa! 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 Oh! Oh! Whoa! Whoa! Oh! 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 Oh!
Ladies and gentlemen, King Kong 360 3D. King Kong 360 3D. One of the world's largest and most intense 3D experiences. That epic battle was projected onto two of the world's largest digital 3D screens, standing over 40 feet tall and 180 feet long. And it utilizes some of the most advanced technology in filmmaking today. The film was designed by Peter Jackson and the Oscar-winning team at Weta Digital. In fact, the filmmakers at Weta also worked on the 2005 King Kong feature film and other films like Avatar. And they went to Middle Earth into the fiery pits of Mordor with Peter Jackson to make the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit trilogies. Now they're back on the planet Pandora with James Cameron finishing up the upcoming 4 Avatar sequels. Everyone, hang on to the glasses. We're going to use them one more time on the tour. By the way, these Nebula sets also became
Fast and
Chicago
Furious.
for the Blues Brothers.
We're gonna
Speaking
use
of
the
the
Fast
Blues
and
Brothers,
Furious.
remember the
Later.
Bluesmobile? J.G. Elwood's car? Yeah, the Bluesmobile is an example of what would be referred to in the business as a picture car. In industry lingo, picture car is defined as any vehicle on the set that's going to be seen by the camera. Some of these cars have become as famous as the stars who've driven them. And over the years, picture cars have gotten bigger, badder, and faster as audiences continue to embrace their need for speed. A Back to the Future DeLorean. There's a picture car that you might be familiar with. The Bluesmobile from the Blues Brothers with SNL's Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. The Deathmobile from Animal House, also with Mr. Belushi. We saw a picture car earlier on the tour. I'm sure some of you remember what that was. Remember the picture car we saw? The Palisades Public School Bus. That's right. Yeah, so we got some more picture cars coming up here on the left. Palisades, I should say from Saved by the Bell, this is the school bus. Coming up on the left, we're going to pass by a black Ford Cobra kit car from the recent reboot of the Knight Rider series. And for the 21st century Knight Rider, the voice of the kit car was an uncredited Val Kilmer, Nick Rivers himself. What was the Iceman? Also, here's a red Ferrari 308 from the original Magnum PI with Tom Selleck and
Roads? Well, we don't need roads.
some Back to the Future vehicles, Jeff's car, and some vehicles from 2015 as it was realized in 1989's Back to the Future Part 2, like that hover-converted pink Edsel there. From the future, we're going to go to the distant past with those Stone Age vehicles from the 1994 live-action Flintstones movie. Here's some customized Fast and Furious street racers and some Jurassic vehicles like a camouflage Mercedes from Lost World Jurassic Park, a gyrosphere from Jurassic World, directed by Colin Trevorrow, a Jeep Wrangler Sahara from the original Jurassic Park. Here are some military vehicles from the Transformers movie. Before there were the Jurassic World movies, there was, of course, Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park trilogy.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Up ahead here are some props, picture cars, and other items that were featured in some of the Jurassic Park movies. Like coming up on the right is a boat which was being attacked by the Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3, directed by Joe Johnston. Also featuring William H. Macy, Tay Leone, and Sam Neill. So here's that boat coming up on the right. Anybody seen the Spinosaurus? Is he on board or no? Okay. Coming up on the left is a Fleetwood RV mobile lab. Last seen dangling off a towering cliff on a remote island in a terrifying scene from The Lost World Jurassic Park with Vince Vaughn, Academy Award winner Julianne Moore, and Jeff Goldblum. For this scene, though, the van was right here on the Universal front lot, dangling from a parking structure, which was best to look like a towering cliff on a remote island. There wasn't really a big T-Rex there. The van was being dangled by a crane. I'm telling you, we went to every T-Rex in town and we said, you want to be in our movie? Turned us down like a hot potato. Oh, folks, we're under attack by a pack of angry spinning Dilophosaurs. And,
No!
Up on the left, here's Spiny. And don't get too comfortable yet, because just when you thought it was safe, we went and did it. We're making another Jurassic movie. Jurassic World Dominion is set to go stomping into theaters June 10th of 2022, directed by Colin Trevorrow. So earlier I was telling you all about how the world is just around the corner on the back lot. Up ahead of us here is Old Mexico. The Old Mexico sets have appeared as places like Tijuana and productions like What's Love Got to Do with It? The Ike and Tina Turner story with Lawrence Fishburne and King T'Challa's mom herself, Angela Bassett. Oh, did I mention that there's a flash flood warning in effect for Old Mexico? So anyway, there's a flash flood warning in effect for Old Mexico. Just FYI. We didn't even wipe the dinosaur skid off, and now we got, the storm. Everybody grab your thunder, buddy, because Well, because we got some rain. You know what? This isn't too bad. No, I think we can handle this, except... Hey, wait a minute. Does anybody happen to hear a low rumbling sound off in the distance? Uh-oh. On the left, a flash flood heading straight for the tram. Take cover. I was playing a trick on this. The rain is coming from a set of sprinklers above the tram, and the flooding results from thousands of gallons of recycled water coming from sinks at the top of the hill. Here's the flooding effect in Big Fat Liar.
You can't outrun the wolf, kid! Yeah, we'll see about that.
Big Fat Liar with Frankie Muniz, Amanda Bynes, and Paul Giamatti. Now we're going to cross an immense